Well, isn't that awkward? And no, I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about this Marvel Avengers. My name is Casmol, and we have some news regarding this game. Marvel Avengers just came out a few months ago, and well, the reception was split between people who really loved Marvel and people who pointed out that the gameplay itself maybe wasn't that great. Now, as it turns out, the game itself was a failure, a financial failure at that, because Square Enix had their financial report for this quarter, and yikes is the word of the hour, because apparently they reported a 6.5 billion yen, not US dollars, a little bit different, but that's still a lot of money. 6.5 billion yen loss for HD games driven by Marvel Avengers. They didn't really sell how much they sold, but they gave enough data so that we can actually make our own assumptions here. And they said that they sold 60% less than they actually have planned. And the game, or they implied at least, that the game did cost over 100 million US dollars to make. So with all these information we have, like with the loss, with how much it cost and 60% off, they did sold roughly 3 million copies on PlayStation, on Xbox, and on PC together. 3 million. And let's be honest here, I'm not really surprised by this. Like, I know a lot of people will say this now, but here's the thing. Like, when you see how much microtransaction they already put into game, like how many pre-order bonuses you can get from like multiple retailers, and you get your Intel package, you get your AT&T package or whatever. Like, they had so many different packages which were just like, wow, like, okay, you are focusing really on making that extra money. How about you focusing on, I don't know, like, show the game, especially here at the beginning, which is like the intro. Like, the game looks actually really solid. Like, I'm not just talking about graphically, but gameplay wise. Like, it looks like a very solid experience, which is built around the idea to play multiple Avengers through multiple missions. And it's not just let's throw as many enemies at you as possible, and that's the gameplay. And that's what they basically did. Like, Marvel Avengers is trying to be something it clearly doesn't want to be. And what I mean is, it's a looter shooter. Well, looter shooter is, of course, a little bit weird to say that with the Marvel Avengers, but it is very much what Destiny is. It is very much what Warframe is, and the Division, right? You have your characters, you have your RPG stats, and you are trying to get better loot, and you are killing as many enemies as possible, and many dungeon or like specific levels to get more loot. Like, that's basically what you were doing. And in itself, that's not bad, but this game just has so much stuff which is just mediocre in comparison to a Destiny 2, or like even the Division, or Anthem tried it, right? Like, Anthem was also a game which tried to be like the next looter shooter game, and it was just mediocre when it came out. Like, I think one of the biggest things those games have is equipment, right? Like, whenever you're beating a boss and you are getting like this new equipment and it looks awesome with all the effects and all the new shiny armor, and you're like, yeah, this was worth it. Like, this feels like something really, really good. And in Marvel Avengers, that doesn't really happen because, well, they can't really do that. And the only way how you can change your costume is basically by buying more skins or unlocking more skins. And that doesn't really keep the people going long enough. And then, of course, you could talk about like the gameplay itself, how mediocre that feels. Like, there's a lot to unpack, and I'm pretty sure you already saw the reviews, or you, well, played the game yourself. But this is unfortunately unsurprising, and I hope that this is a warning for a lot of other publishers out there that you still cannot just sell a name. Like just selling Marvel Avengers doesn't any good. Does somebody still remember like the old days, right? When you were watching a movie and then you're coming out of the cinema and it's like, hey, by the way, did you know that we also have a video game about this movie? And then you played most of those video games for the movies and you realized, ooh, that was a cash grab. That was really just building on the movie I just saw, but not really like the game itself. And I have a little bit the feeling like I wouldn't say that Marvel Avengers was really a cash grab by any chance, but it feels like they had the license and they didn't really know what to do with it. And they wanted to be so many things, and I wouldn't be surprised if Square Enix wanted it to be like a live service game where they're just like releasing more and more pieces and making more and more money by the microtransaction, like Destiny does it for years, right? And yeah, when look, the thing is, people know what to expect from those type of games, and when those games do not deliver, then people will just leave the game or just not buy it. And I think a lot of people saw Marvel Avengers and they were like, okay, but what do you have to offer besides of me being Hulk? Like, what makes your gameplay exciting? And especially after this area, like, again, this area looks actually really, really fun and was really fun to play. But afterwards, when it becomes like just a looter shooter, it loses a lot of excitement. Like, it loses a lot of excitement and fun because it also feels a little bit like you're not that strong anymore, right? Like here, you can play the Hulk and you're just like smashing through the enemies and it's all fun. And then afterwards, it's like, nah, you don't have the right item level, so you're only doing like 20% of the damage and you have to hit like enemies 20 times with the Hulk. And it's like, that doesn't feel right. Again, there's so many things which just don't feel right with this game. And it seems like this time, a lot of people caught on to it. And a lot of people actually decided not to buy the game. But this was a huge financial loss. And again, I really hope for the future that publishers are actually aware of that and that they actually have to deliver some pretty good content to make this license worth it. Yeah, I can just hope for the next game and the next license. But it seems like Marvel Avengers didn't make the cut, and the question is how long we will still get content for this game, because this was already a money grave. And knowing Square Enix a little bit in the past, they love to cut off their losses when they feel like they have pumped too much money into the development of a game. But yeah, it's unfortunate. It really is, because the game also looked pretty good. All right, that was it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see more gaming news, more gameplay, we're also streaming from Monday to Friday, starting at 8 a.m. ET on YouTube. Then don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon if you're already on it. And again, thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.